Hey Jacob, this is Manny Marino with Do Wood Son out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I had met Kimberly a few weeks back at an art show, and she had placed an order for this chair for you for your birthday. So happy belated birthday. And I'll spend a few minutes talking on this video, just kind of walking you through the process of assembling this chair, because in a few minutes I will disassemble it and ship it out so that you get it, and then I'll walk you through the kind of the assembly and the steps. But in the next few minutes, I'll just speak to you about the chair, the kind of the assembly process and the steps that it takes to assemble it. But this is the multi-stain Viking chair. It's in the style of the Adirondack chair, but as you will see when it's all assembled and you sit in it, it's got more of an upright feel. So I get good feedback, and you know you'll like the way it feels and sits. All of it is made out of redwood cedar, and it's stained called a golden pecan, and I also recommend maybe in about a week or so after it completely dries to put a spar urethane over it, a water-based spar urethane, just to protect it even further. It'll be a little shiny though once it dries. So some customers just don't like that that look of it being shiny. But here is what it looks like in the back, and I'll walk you again through the steps of assembling the chair. So first thing is just the seats. Obviously, it's going to have 7 slats, and I'll have them numbered underneath, starting with the first one on the right side. So looking at the chair right to left, 1 through 7. All of the holes are pre-drilled, as you see. So when you're putting these back, these torque bit screws, which I'll include the bit, just go flush to the top of the board. Okay. So you have your 2x6. This is the framework of the seat. Sitting on top are your 1x4s. There's going to be a total of 7, numbered 1 through 7. Your back is going to be all completely intact. After your 7th slat, because you're going to start off flat on a flat surface, starting with number 1 all the way to number 7. That's your first step, is to assemble the seat first. And in the back, in between, is a 2x6 that's 22 inches long that acts as a back brace. There's going to be a gap at number 7 and a back. Well, you can't really see it here through the video, but there's a ½ inch gap between the back seat and the back brace. And the back of the seat, the back of the chair, has a tail that it slips right in, and I will label and have marked where to align the back, because I want to make sure that when you are positioning the back to the back brace, which is this back here, that we're going to be drilling into the exact same holes. Okay, so the entire chair is obviously put together and intact, but I want to make sure that we're re-drilling in the same holes. Okay. Oh yeah, here's the gap that I was referring to. So there's the tail. I'll have it marked, which you can't see in the video, but I'll have it marked where to align so that we know when you're attaching it, it'll be perfect. So step 1 is the seat, right on a flat surface, 1 through 7, the back brace. Then the second piece, second and third, really is your legs. Your front legs will have a right and a left. There's 2 lag bolts, so you're going to need a 9/16 socket, and it's always washer, lock nut. All right, there's a piece of my latex glove in there. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, lag bolts go in from from out to in, if that makes sense, right? And then the washer, lock nut, always 9/16 socket. That'll make your job a lot easier. And then underneath, as you notice, there's going to be some pre-drilled holes in the tail of the back, and that's to position it and keeping it from shifting side to side over time. So that'll make it nice and snug. So your seat, your front legs, right and left, I'll have them marked. And then your back legs. Here's something important about the back leg. You're going to be able to tell which is the back leg because it's going to have the slant. And then the back brace that goes in between the back legs is 22 inches, right? And again, I will mark it right and left on the inside, all right, so you know which one. And then and before you put on, or I'm sorry, then the next piece is your arms, and they get drilled from the top down. Now, one thing I didn't do is, I mean, again, these are pre-drilled, and in your bag, I'm going to include some sawdust. What I like you to do when you're drilling these in, go at least 1/4 of an inch deep, right, to allow as far as you can go, and then fill the rest with sawdust, and there's going to be wood plugs, all right, and then just make it nice and snug. The only one that doesn't get a wood plug is the back of the arm. Okay, I always keep them flush, and so when you're doing the arm, start with the back first. Again, you may want to poke it through the underneath, so that way we're again going into the same hole, and then just position it to and center it to the brace here, or center it obviously to the front of the front legs. Let me see what else, and then the back. So pretty simple, I think. I'm repeating myself. Again, the seat, which is 1 through 7, on the 2x6s, and then your front legs with lag bolts, 2 on each side from out to in, and then your back legs, again, out to in with the back brace that is supporting the 2 and actually supporting the back of the chair. And then just look for the alignments in the little slot there. And also, one more thing is, if you notice, this is probably a really good picture. So for the arm to fit flush, we have to make sure that this back brace is not screwed in all the way to the top. So again, I will mark right there where to align the top of the back brace, just to allow, so it's because if you go all the way to the top of this with this little, because it's angled, it'll actually bump it up and it won't be even. So just be mindful of that. Everything should be completely flush and flat. That's it. So I'm going to pause the video here and take it apart, and then once again do a very quick rundown again of how the chair should be put together.